Hey, this is Laura Madsen, writer and celebrity publicist of theladyinredblog.com. For the latest takes on entertainment, music, food, fashion, and fun, come check me out at theladyinredblog.com.
Crime alert. Darn it.
Wow. Do it again.
Hey guys, we're
Crime Alert.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Jared.
I'm Rob. He's Phil.
And Liam isn't here with us tonight, but it's okay.
I should have been Liam.
And you are listening to the DJ Dani Show.
Dun-dun-dun.
Without a care, we'll drive all night through every street sign and every light. Let's lose the road and find ourselves tonight without regretting what's wrong or right. And we're never alone. We'll be screaming at the top of our lungs. We'll be dancing to our favorite song. We'll be moving to the kick of the drum. We'll be singing to the morning sun. Singing, making our move, we'll set the groove. Wherever this ride may take us to. No looking back, nothing left to prove. We're making memories long overdue. Five alive on our own. We'll be screaming at the top of our lungs. We'll be dancing to our favorite song. We'll be moving to the kick of the drum. We'll be singing to the morning sun. Singing, we'll be screaming, we'll be dancing, we'll be screaming, we'll be screaming, we'll be screaming at the top of our lungs. We'll be dancing to our favorite song. We'll be moving to the kick of the drum. We'll be singing to the morning sun. Singing,
Good evening. Welcome to the DJ Dani Show. And this is not DJ Dani. This is Laura Madsen, known as the Lady in Red. And I am your host tonight because we've got your regular host, DJ Dani, in the hot seat.
I'm in the hot seat.
We are going to find out all about this lady on radio tonight. And we have another special guest in studio that's going to help us find out more about Dani. And that's Manda Madsen.
Hi, Amanda.
And if you have some questions for Dani, you can call in at Hamilton Radio, channel HR2, at 609-800-1003. And what I want to say is, whoa, because we just opened with, I think, one of my new favorite songs, Dani, called The New Royalty by the group Whoa.
The other way around.
The other way around?
Yeah.
So the song is actually Whoa by the group The New Royalty.
Yes,
I
Yeah.
messed that up. But I like it. Either way.
Yeah.
Either way, we're good.
They're one of my actually favorites. They're on the wall over there too, and they have new music coming out. So I'm probably gonna get them on my show again.
Oh, that would be so great.
You should meet them. You should try to co-host that show when we, get it all set up again.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And tonight we're going to talk about some of your favorite bands and some of your favorite music, play some of it. We're going to have a pretty good time.
Can't wait.
So, usually you're asking the questions. I'm switching it up on you tonight. I want to know, and everybody wants to know, how did you get your start in radio?
Okay. Well, honestly, when I was really, really little, like probably 6 years old, I was semi-shy on the radio, and my dad downstairs in our basement was our studio before we have this place. And I honestly was doing shows where I was playing a lot of Hannah Montana and old school Disney Channel. And I had the cutest baby voice. My dad still plays it. And I'm just like, I hate that recording so much. And he was like, you have to go back on air and tell them the songs. And I was like getting used to doing that. Then I was like growing up, you know, getting out of school, have a job now. So I'm like maturing. And he's like, are you going to have a radio show back? And I was like, I'm thinking about it. So about 2 years ago, I was like, I'm going to do this. I think I was 17 when I officially started. Now I'm 19. And here I am. And it's where I am now.
That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
So the seed was planted at a very young age for you, and now you're just rolling with it.
Yeah, I grew up with it. He's had this station since I was 19, like ever since I was born. So I heard it every day in the house. I was like, I'd love to be a radio host someday, because I always heard it on the radio. I was like, I feel like I have a good radio voice.
Did you always have that love of music?
Yes and no, because at first I didn't know a lot of the bands he was playing, and then I heard them so much growing up, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, I still listen to, like, I love the Temptations a lot. That's probably my favorite band, because I love Build Me a Buttercup. I don't really know who sings Someone's Knocking on the Door.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah. And like all these songs, people would be like, what? Like, how do you know that? And it's like, I grew up with them. And, you know, like the Eagles, ELO, it's everything my dad, like, brought into my life when I was, like, growing up. So it's like, I can use them as inspirations now.
So what types of music do you enjoy most? Is it still a lot of the classics, or do you mix it up?
Yeah, it's classics, and a lot of it's, like, sometimes on the radio. But I'm not a huge fan of electronic dance music because it gets very annoying really, really fast. Sometimes it's catchy. Like, One Dance by Drake is very catchy because you feel like you want to cha-cha to it. But besides that, it's just, like, I don't want to hear it anymore. A lot of the music that I grew up with was probably, like I was saying, like Eagles, the Beatles, ELO, a lot of, you know, gosh, there's so many bands, this is killing me. I'm on the spot, so it's like...
That's fine. I mean, you know, what about some of the bands that you've had on your show?
Oh, wow. I listen to their music a lot, too, because my dad plays it, because I gave it to him. Like, we've had Kenny Young Band on my show. They're my favorite country bands. I've had Connor Austin Peck. He's a really good guy for country as well. I've had a couple people on with you. I had Precious Pia, Gia. I had some Chance and the Gamblers, Nick Clemens. All these people have different, unique tastes on their music, and it's like, I never hear these twines or things, and it's so catchy. And then it becomes like your favorite new song in your head, and I just hate that because it's so catchy and you can never get it out. And it's just like, well, you know my song. It's like, yeah, I know it. I can never get it out of my head. So what do you expect me to do? But a lot of the people I've had on my show, like I've had a couple of twin duos, like I have Danielle and Jennifer, and then Mary and Brianna. They're somewhat similar, but they're both different because they both have different uniques to their voice. So it all changes with whoever I have.
And now you're sort of influencing your father, which is very different. It's going in reverse. I like that.
I am, yeah. I mean, it's the music that he's like, at first he's like kind of like iffy about, and then he's like, this is actually really good. Because sometimes he would think that you can't put a bass to this song, or you can't make, one of the songs I had kind of sounded like it was metal, then I actually found out it was rock. Because I like metal music too. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm not a big fan of metal music. And I had Roulette on my show, I think it was last week. And they were really good. Like, they were doing live here. He was playing music. And at first, I showed him one song. He was like, well, we'll see where we go. And then he's like, wow, I'm so blown away. And he's, like, talking to them to get, you know, see if we can get, like, a music video or something out of them. And, yeah, so I bring that for both of us.
And now I think there's so much crossover with the different genres of music. I mean, you know, you've got pop mixing up with rap, and you know, like you said, it's how do you really say, oh, okay, this is just country or this is just metal?
It's like, it's their soul, and it's mixed with like funk and like pop, and it has just everything that they encounter in themselves, they bring out in their music.
All right, so I'm picturing you now, like rocking out to stuff. I've seen you rock out to stuff while, like, you know, we're on commercial break here and things like that. But when you're by yourself, do you listen to the music loud or soft? What's your...
Like I said, I'm a big fan of metal music, so if I can get my hands on that, not around my dad because he dislikes metal music a lot. But for me, I have it loud, and my parents don't like that because I can like blow my eardrums out. But it's good. I mean, Linkin Park isn't metal. I think they're like heavy rock, and I like Linkin Park. So I'll have that probably blasting on almost 8 or 9 in my room. My dad will hear it from downstairs. My sister will scream, they'll be like, lower it. I'm just like, I can't. I'm jamming out to this music in my room. Like,
Yeah, and you really want to feel it. You really want to get into it.
you get the inspirations once you hear it over and over again. I feel like I learn the lyrics from a song once I hear it more than once.
So this love of music is kind of what inspired this type of radio show for you then?
Yeah, and I go for all genres. Except for when my dad gets his metal channel, then I'll be pushing all my metal bands on
I
it.
see.
Waiting patiently. They're waiting very, very patiently.
Now, I was talking to you before the show, and if people go back and listen to some of the past shows you've done, you've kind of like hinted about a background and maybe a little bit of music, a little bit of singing, a little bit of acting, a little bit of... All right, so fill us in here. You've got some stuff going on in your past that has also shaped your love and appreciation of the arts.
I don't technically know how old I was when I first started dancing. I know I was young because I was getting awards for like jazz, tap. I did hip hop with my sister. My sister did lyrical. I don't know if I did lyrical with her. I did ballet because I always wanted to do the arabesque. I've always called that asparagus, and I'm so thankful.
Well, you could do the asparagus too. Why not? You know, it's a
I
new
always
dance
said
craze.
that, and I remember my mom was like, "It's the arabesque, Danielle," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, asparagus too."
We'll start a new dance craze. It's called the asparagus. That's fine.
I think it'll work perfectly in this generation. So through that, then I was learning how to do radio after I got out of school. And then I was doing acting, and it was in Morrisville. It was the Actors Net, and I was in a show. I did Oliver the Musical with my sister. I was a milkmaid, orphan, and a gang member. And
Oh, that's pretty diverse.
Yeah, I had so many parts I had to change for. Oh my gosh. And it was a fun experience because, you get to get out of the character. And my character for the gang member, for the one song, You Gotta Pick a Pocket or Two, I got to tip on over to the piano guy and steal the scarf off his neck when he was still playing piano. And then I ran all the way upstairs quickly because I'm supposed to be like a thief to take it off in the show. And everybody was laughing. They were like, that's the best part. I was like, I finally get the good part because I love being the center of attention sometimes.
No, really.
And it's like, that was the best part they could have given me because I did it so perfectly.
That's great. That's great.
And then I did a show there called Reality Check when I was in their theater camp, and my character was a spoiled B-word. And it worked perfectly. My mom said, she's like, you're not even out of character. I was like, Mom, you're so mean.
gosh. Well.
Her name was Helena, and she had the most meanest, sarcastic name, roles she had to say, and it was just the best.
So I'm curious. You said you like being the center of attention. Obviously, stage fright is not a problem for you.
I don't think it is. I mean, I think when I was younger, I was semi-shy, but I feel like now I could just be out there. I'm the person when we go out to eat, I'm the one that gets the bill and napkins for my parents because they're so scared to ask. It's like I'm the person that goes in a grocery store and gets the person, if he's all the way on the side, busy with someone, and say, hey, sir, over here, can you help us? Because my mom and dad don't want to bother them, and I'm just like, I don't care. They're doing their job. They're getting paid for it, so.
So a lot of people, they have the inspiration, they have the desire, whether it's to get on stage, get on radio, do these kinds of things, but they do have a fear of doing it, of maybe what others will think, the unknown. What would you say to somebody, because this comes very natural to you, what would you say to someone who wants to step out of their comfort zone and do this?
Listen to your heart and see where you're going with what you want to do, because for me, I would say the only fear I would have is sometimes people, I still have self-conscious issues and all that fun stuff in the world. But for me, I would say listen to your heart, because your heart knows where you're going. It's in the right place. And it's you're taking it with you. And once you follow it, you know where you're going. You know what I mean? It's not you're put in a situation because you're helping someone else. Mm-hmm. If you feel as if they want to take advice from you, the closest thing I could say is just listen to what you would say. Don't take it from someone else, because we all have different advices for ourselves.
Right, right.
But I would say, if anything, listen to your heart, because that's where it goes.
Mm-hmm. And then when you're focusing on that, and I think your art, you're not so concerned anymore with everybody else.
Exactly. And positive energy is a huge intake in your life.
Yes, definitely. So, I want you to tell me, okay, who would you pick out of the pile of amazing guests you've had on your show? Who is one of your favorites and why? And maybe we can also play a song by them.
Okay. Well, honestly, I love everyone I had on my show. I hate like second guessing anyone because everyone that on my show really did play a beautiful impact in my life because I feel like I'm closer with them, whether or not they're people from Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, or just around the corner or California, anywhere. Everybody means the world to me, and I still support them, and they support me, and that's probably the best, way you can get through this. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so hard for me. You know what? I'm really gonna say it probably would have been the Ochoa Boys when I talked to them. They were the sweetest thing, and it's just, they played a great impact in my life because I've grown up watching them from Nickelodeon. Like they were on iCarly. The one guy played Chuck, if you guys ever saw iCarly, and he was on Disney Channel. And they grew up, and they're still so like positive energy and everything, but all their songs is for like, teenagers and adults. My dad even said he admitted he liked one of their songs. It's all positive energy, and they talk about God a lot, and you don't hear that a lot, like in this, like I said, in this world. So they played a positive energy in my life, and I'm gonna say that when I interviewed them, I probably was not expecting how sweet they were, because a lot of people say that people could be, stuck up and everything, and I would never think that they were, because they can't be. They're just extremely sweet. It's just funny during the interview because the one brother kept leaving, and he would come back in the middle of the interview and say, what are we talking about? And then the mom would come home through the whole interview, and she'd like scream in the other room, and I'm just like, you guys are just like my house. Like, it's probably the best energy you can get. So they played a huge impact in my life. They're my favorite guests I had on my show.
Oh, that's great, great. Do we have a song?
Yeah,
for them
I
that we
have
could play?
California Party Life.
Oh, I do. Can't leave Juliet.
We're going to do this one first because I already mentioned it. Yeah. Okay. It's California Party Life.
So we're going to hear California
It's
Party Life.
such a good song.
I'm
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Here we go. You guys are
You feel that rush take hold. The beat transforms your soul. Intoxicated by the lights, I know I'm home. I'm breathing in the sound. Dance floor heats up, around I'm hooked. Addicted to this
California party life.
hands up, sky reach, jumping, no sleep. You know where to find me. Turning up where the music's at. Rhythm control shut. Night's nearly over. I'm lost in this coma. I'll be dancing till they call me out. Scoper, now over. Grab your chick, now hold up. I'm so fly. Let's dance till the morning light. Drop it and grind it. Pop it, don't hide it. Don't be shy. California party life. Party life. California party life. We do it like the crowd. California party life. Party life. California.
Call us up, sing it loud. 1-800-421. Our local flash is in the air. It's time to make some noise. That's when we invade the place. Blast up the bass. Jamming all night long. Yeah, you know we're here. We bring up crowds. Can you do the same? If not, that's what will happen once you build your base. Time flies and slip. Get pumped, let's have fun. Cruising down the street. You're snooping for some more fun. No matter what time of day. DJ is on point. They mixing in them joints.
Once you're in, you can't get out. Everyone chanting, shut the lights down. The black paint, now you can see us. Every night like this, now you believe us. Keeping the vibe, keeping the vibe, keeping the club, keeping the club, through the weekend must be that.
California party life.
Hands up, sky reach, jumping, no sleep. You know where to find me. Turning up where the music's at. Rhythm control shut. Night's nearly over. I'm lost in this coma. I'll be dancing till they call me out. Scoper, now roper, grab your chick, now hold up. I'm so fly. Let's dance till the morning light. Drop it and grind it. Pop it, don't hide it. Don't be shy. California party life. Party life. California party life. We do it like the crowd. California party life. Party life. California. more boys take over your world. Do they infect the brain? Make you go insane? Every little second got you thinking of the name straight. Glued to the appearance on stage. LED lights, a lot of rep game. If you didn't know us when we first showed up, guarantee you'll have with us looking us up. All we do is get turned up. Energy levels keep rising up. We ain't even mainstream, but we know how to make y'all scream, cause we be packing in the news. Social media, news. Determination, motivation's how this dream came true. Once you're in, you can't get out. Everyone chanting, shut the lights down. The glass is fake, now you can see us. Every night's like this, now you believe us. Keeping the vibe, keeping the vibe. City for clubs, city for clubs. Soon as the weekend must be that. Hands up, sky, we jumping, no sleep. You know where to find me. Turning up where the music's at. Rhythm controls you. Night's nearly over. Got lost in this coma. I'll be dancing till they throw me out. Scope, now go for grab yo chick, now hold up. I'm so fly. Let's dance till the morning light. Drop it and grind it. Pop it, don't hide it. Don't be shy. California party life. Party life. California party life. We do it like the crowd. California party life. Party life. California. Call us up, sing it loud. 1-800 what you like. 1-800 what you like.
Hey, what's up? It's Ryan Ochoa,
Raymond Ochoa.
Bobby Ochoa,
And Rick Ochoa.
And we are the Ochoa boys.
You are listening to the DJ Dani Show. Boys you like out.
And then Hamilton Radio.
All right, you start, and I'll go last. Or I'll go third. We'll go in order.
Hey, what's up? It's Raymond Ochoa.
No, say it again. Hey, what's up? It's Raymond
I forgot
Ochoa.
my name. Hey everyone, this is Raymond Ochoa.
Bobby Ochoa, Ryan Ochoa,
And Rick Ochoa.
and we are the
The Ochoa boys.
And you are listening to Hamilton Radio. Boys you like out.
Perfect. Thank you guys so
Done.
much.
Hold on, one more.
Wait.
One more. Come
It's
here, little girl.
Let
The
Princess be on.
princess wants to get in one.
Let her be in one.
That's, she's
Destiny.
getting off. She's getting off. We have to go. Come on, let's go. You start it off. Say hi, I'm Destiny Ochoa. Come here.
Come here.
Go right now.
Hurry
She's
up.
gonna leave.
Okay.
Fine. No, it's fine.
Time. Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Come on,
And
baby.
start it. Say, hey, I'm Destiny Ochoa.
Ready?
Hurry up.
Hey, I'm Destiny Show.
I'm Ryan Ochoa.
Raymond Ochoa.
Bobby Ochoa.
And Rick Ochoa.
And we are the Ochoas.
Oh,
Ochoa girl.
and the Ochoa girl, and you're listening to the DJ Dani Show.
And I'm listening to the DJ Dani Show.
Good.
Hey, this is Laura Madsen, writer and celebrity publicist of theladyinredblog.com. For the latest takes on entertainment, music, food, fashion, and fun, come check me out at theladyinredblog.com.
Welcome back to the DJ Dani Show. I'm Manda Madsen, and I'm here with DJ Dani and my mom, Laura Madsen. And if you guys want to call in, call 609-800-1003, and you can ask DJ Dani a question. We're interviewing her. And I have a question for her. How can somebody find you on social media?
Okay, well, on everything, I'm DJ Dani Show. So, like, if you want to just find me, I'm DJ, DANISHOW. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's 2 W's because DJ Dani Show was already taken. But Instagram, I'm DJ Dani Show. On Snapchat, I'm DJ Dani Show. On my Facebook, where I kind of like post a lot more than my regular private one, I'm facebook.com/DJ Dani Show. So it's DJ, DANISHOW.
So we've got Dani in the hot seat tonight.
I'm in the hot seat.
And I'm asking her a bunch of questions. And we are also playing some music from some of her favorite bands that she's had on her show as past guests. It's really hard to narrow them down because I agree with that, with her statement about that, because there is such talent that she's had on her show. And, you know, we only have an hour. I mean, we could sit here for a very long time and play.
We can go over an hour, but so.
Easily. So speaking of which, how do you select talent for your show? What's the criteria?
Okay, so a lot of it, I just, for instance, I'll just be on Facebook looking at one of my recent friends post, and it could just be a musician, and I'll just be like, oh my God, I really like that. So at first, I'll, look into it, see what their genre of music is, see if I should contact them first. Before I contact them, I always try to show my dad the music just to make sure that he would okay it, because it's his radio station. So it's only fair. I don't want to give him someone that's not saying that, like, they're not talented, but, like, someone that seems as if they think they're higher up and they're not talented at all.
Right, and I think somebody that actually, I know for me, can say more than yes, no. Like when you're asking them questions on air, that's equally important, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's true. And then I always probably give them my email, which is DannyCBJB65@gmail.com, for everyone to, like, contact me, or I post it on Twitter. I post a lot on Facebook. If any musicians or indie artists want to hit me up to be on my radio show, they're more than welcome to. I'm booked right now up to December, I think, 6th, because I might have my Christmas party hopefully on the 13th, but I'm not quite sure yet. So, yeah, I'm being booked quick. It's crazy how I'll just have my messages, like, be blown up or email.
Yeah, I think within the past almost year, I've seen, like, a great influx of people just gravitate towards you and your show.
Yeah.
It's incredible, you know, how word of mouth spreads, and, it's great.
Because they're like, have you been on DJ Dani Show? Oh, what's DJ Dani Show? Oh, it's on Hamilton Radio. So my dad gets the exposure when they say Hamilton Radio. I get the exposure when they come on my show. And then they get their exposure when we play their promo. So it's like a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. So do you find it difficult to keep the weekly schedule for your show? That's a commitment you have every week. Is that tough?
Yes, because sometimes people at my job want me to take Tuesday shifts, and I'm just like, no, I can't. I have a radio show. And Tuesdays is the day where I actually, before I have the show, I take the whole day to continue looking up the person during the week, and then I actually write more questions that day. Then I print them out, and my guests, if they come or if they're on Skype or call in, then I'm prepared for them. And sometimes I try to go, like, behind their history or find something and, like, try to stump them, which everybody hates, but it's, like, the best thing to do on a show.
Yeah, you bring up a very good point. I think sometimes people feel that, when you go on radio, you're just completely winging it. But
You're not.
You're not. Like, I think anybody that can deliver an informative show and ask relevant questions is doing a little bit of research, like you had just said.
That's definitely what I'm doing. And a lot of the research comes in when they send me a biography or give me their information. Like when you first gave me Richard or Precious
Richard
Pia.
Giovanni for the Grimps, yeah.
Yes. And when you gave me Precious Pia or Gina
Zavala.
Yeah. When you gave me them, you gave me their biography, so I looked through it and I found, like, questions that pointed out to me because we were both writing questions. So I try to always write the ones that aren't on top of yours. You know what I mean? Like, I try to write the more consistent ones.
Right.
For the show.
So you put a lot of work into it. And now you said you were booked through the beginning of December. So I had to ask you, would you ever do more than a once-a-week show? Would you increase the frequency of your show?
Yes, I've been doing lately for when I had, like, the Ochoa Boys and Hutch Dano and Matt Shapiro, which were, like, other, like, big stars as well. I actually did 2 Mondays right after. So I had one Monday, then the Tuesday show, then I had a Monday, then a Tuesday show. So I'm still open to having Mondays if I'm off work, hopefully. And that's what I might do for the guy I was telling you about, Big Tim Kellums. Like, my dad was like, why don't you just give him Monday? Because I don't want to make him wait forever.
Right.
And I have Konstantin Marlis, the guy from American Idol. But he's in November, and he said he wants that date. I was like, I can make you a Monday. But he's like, I'll take the November date. I was like, all right, that's fine with me.
That's great.
But I try to do Mondays if people want it. Yeah, I don't like making them wait forever. It's not fair.
Yeah, and I think something that's important for me too is that people say, oh, she's 19 and she's got a radio show, but you take this so seriously between the work that you put into it before the show, and then you go through with it and you deliver a very professional format. So this girl means business.
I'm gonna cry.
And what would
I try.
You do. And what would you do if a larger media outlet like SiriusXM approached you and said, hey, guess what? We want to give you a spot, we want to try you out, but you have to relocate. At this point in your life, how would you handle that?
I'd learn how to start driving immediately. I'd still be probably paranoid because I don't want to get behind a car anytime soon. But I talked to my father about it because I don't want to leave his station. It's a big part of me. It really is.
Right.
He's like starting my business, if anything. So I'd never want to leave here. This is home for me. And I know people from 94.5. I'm actually going to have Edwin. He's E on the new on 94.5. He's going to come here in the studio sometime. He wants to talk to me. He wants to be on my show.
Right.
I was like, that's pretty cool because he's on thousands of radios. He was on 97.9, 102.9. So he's getting himself out there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential, different directions you can go in, and sometimes people, including myself, we don't affiliate ourselves with one particular station all of the time.
Yeah.
So who knows what's in your future?
Definitely.
I think that's a great attitude.
But I probably need to learn how to start driving if I could relocate myself anywhere first.
Yeah, go for the driver. Ask for the driver.
Well, I have a question to ask. What advice would you give to someone, old or young, who wants to be on radio?
Okay, well, honestly, first they have to, well, I guess it depends. If they have a way to be on radio, is that what she's asking me? Is there
have, a serious career within, radio?
Okay, well, they'd have to put a lot of work in it, but what they would do, it works for all different people because it's all, different advice, like I was saying before. But for young or old, I guess I would say that to learn how to do radio, is that what you're asking?
Just make a career in it, basically. What advice would you give to somebody who's young or old, who just wants to start radio?
Now everybody you can jump on, you can create a podcast, but I don't think that necessarily qualifies you as a professional radio host. So what would you do? What would be the first step?
I would probably try to help their career, if anything. Mm-hmm. I might have them, if they're close by or Skype or whatever, I'd see if they want to co-host one of my shows to see how it is, to see if they like the bumpy road or how they like it, have them maybe interview, you know what I mean? See from their point of view how they feel with it before I actually go further with it. And then if they really like it, then I'd, probably help them try to get on the radio somewhere or talk to my dad and maybe they could be on here.
That's a good point. I think sometimes when you step into it slowly, if you can find somebody to mentor you, try it and maybe you'll like it.
He mentored me. He's my dad. Look where I am now. He's probably like, wow, she grew up. I used to be so immature. I still feel like I am, but he says I'm mature.
Well, I've seen definite, if I look at your show format from the way you first started until now, I think that you've learned certain things that you like. And then, you've kind of let some things go along the way too.
Yeah.
So everybody does that.
I'm a goofball.
No, that's what you do. You evolve.
Yeah.
Because even if you like everything you do, I think if you stay the same, then what?
Exactly.
You got to be a little bit of Madonna. You got to change it up sometimes. So, as one of your previous guests that have been one of your favorites, who would you want to talk about next? What made them stand out for you? What did you really like about one of your other guests? Chandler
Juliet. Actually, we have a song for her that we'll probably be playing soon too. It's called Someone Like You. When I Skyped her, because she's from LA, she was in the national Texas. I think she was in, what was she in? She was in a contest or whatever, and she won because of her voice. And she's so sweet. All these people, I just wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? It's crazy how someone could be so talented and just the sweetest thing. Like I was saying, in this world, it doesn't seem like everyone is. Everyone seems stuck up and mean. So it's when I spoke to her and her voice, and she was just so sweet, I was interviewing her, I found out a lot that she had so much previous background from theater, just like me. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, we're twinning and stuff, because finding out that situation and, a lot in common with an artist you have, it helps you bond with them closer when you're doing a radio show. It makes you feel like you know them longer than you've actually known them, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
That is.
So yeah, we can play Someone Like You by Chandler Juliet, and I hope you guys like this song. It's really beautiful.
caught me off guard when I met you. Love was the last thing on my mind, but now you're what I'm dreaming of. I can't forget you or let you go if I tried, because you love me without makeup on. I come to you when something's wrong, and you make it right. Oh, you make me feel like no one can. Happier than I've ever been, and you don't even have to try. You're always there for me. You spin me around. Oh, I'm so happy that I found you. You care for me. You lift me up when I'm down, and I'm so happy that I found someone like you. Now you're my paradise, my everything. Love you from here until the moon, back and everywhere in between. Oh, I know sometimes things don't go our way. That's when I take a step back and realize that I still don't want you to go away. You love me without makeup on. I come to you when something's wrong, and you make it right. Oh, you make me feel like no one can. You keep my world from caving in, and you don't even have to try. You're always there for me. You spinning around, and I'm so happy that I found you. You care for me. Oh, you lift me up when I'm down, and I'm so happy that I found someone like you. You, when everything is good, everything is right. You're here by my side, and I don't even have to try.
Hi, I'm Matt Shapiro. And I'm Hutch Daniel, and you're listening to the DJ Dani Show.
Hey, this is Laura Madsen, writer and celebrity publicist of theladyinredblog.com. For the latest takes on entertainment, music, food, fashion, and fun, come check me out at theladyinredblog.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the DJ Dani Show. I'm Manda Madsen, and I'm here with DJ Dani and my mom, Laura Madsen, and we're interviewing DJ Dani today. And if you guys want to call in and ask her a question, call 609-800-1003. And first, I'm going to start off with asking my mom, Laura Madsen, a question. What are all of your social medias?
Oh, what are all of my ways that people can cyber stalk me?
The best way, right?
The best way. You can find me on Facebook at a lady in red who writes, because I'm also known as the Lady in Red. My website is theladyinredblog.com. You can find me on Twitter at ladyinredblog. And from there, you can pretty much find me anywhere. Instagram, Pinterest, Periscope, you name it. So, yeah.
Snapchat?
I don't do that.
Why not?
Oh, I can't keep up.
It's
I need
so
like
high
3 of
tech.
me. I need 3 of me. Too much.
Mandy can't do it?
We'll talk about her rates for for charging. But so I have to ask you, Dani, outside of your radio career, outside of the studio, what are some things you love to do?
Honestly, I love going to the beach with my family when we can actually go and not stay for an hour after a doctor's appointment, sadly. But I love rides more than anything. I went to iPlay America with my friends the other day, and I was probably so high-tech more about the show I was at because it was the stupidest show of my life. But I love rides. So I was like on a roller coaster, a spinning roller coaster, like 4 times I went on after I felt like I was, going to puke. But it was pretty awesome.
So going to the boardwalk or an amusement park is definitely your thing.
Yes, if I can get a ride there or someone offers to take me. I actually haven't even been to Six Flags yet this year. That's how sad it is. Like, I love Bizarro so much that if I get a chance to go on it this year, I'll probably be the happiest person. My parents don't like that ride, but I like the high race rides. And then I'm kind of like semi-scared of heights. Like, I don't think I would ever do Zumanjaro or the El Toro ones that are, the high up ones. Yeah.
And this leads me perfectly into my next question. I don't think you're afraid of anything after this. But what are some of your biggest fears?
Arachnophobia.
Really?
Oh my God, yes. Look, he's even like, I have really bad, I don't know, I think it's like anxiety when I come close to one. I start hyperventilating and shaking and freaking out. Then my dad's like, you have to calm down because I can make myself like sick that fast. And it's like, he's like, you gotta chase it. You gotta like, take care of your fear and face it. And I'm just like, I can't. There was an earwig earlier in our house, and I was talking to my dad. I was trying to stay as calm as possible, but it's like coming close to me, and I'm like freaking out, shaking.
But that's not a spider.
Yes, I have arachnophobia, but I don't like any bugs in
You
general.
don't discriminate. They're all pretty skeevy to you. Okay.
Yeah, I can't even deal with gnats. I have huge arachnophobia, though. Like, I can't deal with, oh my God, I don't even go in the garage anymore. I can't. There's too many spiders that come down.
So the opposite of that, I want to ask you, what are some of your biggest dreams besides going to Great Adventure this summer?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like my biggest dream would actually be for my dad's radio station to become extremely huge so we can actually get more sponsors and make money off of this, and I can leave my job at where I am because I'm not making a lot. And I feel like we'd be making a lot more, here because I would be invested into this because this is what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Another big dream of mine is probably to actually go on a date with Charlie Puth if that's ever going to happen in my life because I love him so much too. You know who Charlie Puth is, right? Yes. He's my favorite musician. I'm trying to get him on my show too.
You never know.
I know.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years if things keep going on the upswing for you as they have been?
I actually see myself on, oh my God, what is that guy's name show? He's in New York. We were actually invited to one of his shows by our friend Maureen. Do you remember what the guy's name was? He's from America's Got Talent, I think. It's not Howie. It's another guy. It's a judge. Yeah. I see myself on his show, actually.
Whose show?
Howard Stern's show.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm hoping not.
Why? It's a good interview. I won't be dirty, Dad. Chill. But, getting out there and, like, people feel like more if I was on one of his shows or, like, a Sirius XM show, that I would get a lot more exposure from that and maybe a bigger following, and then I'd get more people on my show. And I feel like I'd actually have somebody that would take care of my social media because it's going to kill me if it gets too big because I can't respond to so many emails and messages. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Took me about 3 to 4 hours when we had fireworks on July 4th to get through 27 emails, and I have 48 to still go through. I'm just like, oh, my God.
Yeah. What's next for you, though? I mean, you've talked about how, now sometimes your show isn't just once a week. Sometimes it's twice a week. What's the next step for you in your career?
Becoming as successful as I can be, and also helping my dad with the station. That's like a really big thing for me because like he started me out, so it's only fair for us to become number one. You know what I mean? Like I see us becoming an FM radio station.
Yeah.
And that's so high tech and unbelievable that I feel like it's gonna happen one day, and we're just gonna be like, oh my god, because we'll be like, we used to be internet, like we probably still will be internet, but we'll be like more FM.
Right.
More, we'll have like a bigger following in FM.
Right. Well, that's the first step, just visualizing where you want to be, and then everything usually goes in that direction, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
So, you're giving a lot of people direction, though, with your show.
Yes.
What is another one of your favorite blasts from the past that you've had on air?
I really like, oh my god, I've had so many people. If you guys saw this list, I think it's like 60 to 70 people, and I'm just like looking at all of them. A lot of the people I've had probably were pretty cool because you don't get that much exposure, and you don't really, a lot of them came to the studio. And I like meeting people rather than always talking on Skype because I like hugging. So that's like a big thing for me. But I get to find out off air, like during commercial breaks, if they have a goofy side or if they mess up when they're trying to sing. You know what I mean? Like they're professional, but everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. So finding that in my guests is so hard right now. My friend Jerry Petito, she had a very beautiful moment, actually. It wasn't goofy or anything. It was actually very spiritual, and it made us all cry. But what happened was she has a book that's called I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass, which is about an addiction book. And it basically has the people that, have an addiction. It helps them get off the addiction. So, like, I guess it would work for, like, alcohol or drug abuse. I don't know if it works for cigarettes, but you know what I mean? Like, it just helps them. And she had a moment where she was explaining how she wrote the book. And what it was like she was reaching for God because God was talking to her, literally. And what had happened was she was crying. I felt so bad, and I was, like, hugging her. She was talking to her her daughter on the phone. And they were telling me how, she wrote the book and the addiction and stuff. And it turns out one of her family members had this addiction that she found out a few months ago. And God was having her write this book for some reason. She didn't know why. She was like, why, God? Why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Like, she was, like, confused. But she always goes with what her heart says. And basically he told her to write the book for someone. And she dedicated the book to the person that has the addiction. I think he's kind of, like, he read the book. He said he read it. And I think he's not really highly addicted anymore. I don't know if he still has an addiction, but it opened his eyes to what he has been. So I actually really want to play the song Reach For Me by Gina.
By Gina Zavalis.
By Gina Zavalis, yes. I think...
Have fallen, and you can bet they know the world can be discouraging and cold, and heaven knows you've been there too. But don't forget what I promised you. When you're feeling all alone, spread your wings, you don't have to be afraid, 'cause at the end of the day, you know where I'll be. Reach for me. 'cause at the end of the day, you know where I'll be. Reach for me. I'll be there in your darkest hour of the night. Reach for me when you can't see the light. If there's any place, I swear I'll always be. It's right here every time you reach for me. When you're feeling all alone, I'm never far away. Close enough to give you what you need. So spread your wings, you don't have to be afraid. 'Cause at the end of the day, you know where I'll be. Reach for me. Reach for me.
Welcome back to the DJ Dani Show. I'm your host tonight, Laura Madsen, and your regular host, DJ Dani, is in the hot seat tonight because we're asking her questions for a change. And we have a special guest, Manda Madsen, my daughter, helping us find out more about Dani.
I hope this is a good
Hello,
show so
everyone.
far.
If you'd like to ask Dani a question, you can call in at 609-800-1003 to Hamilton Radio, Channel HR2. And we just heard Reach For Me by singer Gina Zavalas. And now I'm going to ask you, Dani, what do you wish people knew about you that they may not know about you?
That I'm very OCD thanks to my mother.
Okay, and you wanted people to know this?
Because at my job, there are so many things that are just not in the right place, and it kills me. Like, I will be freaking out, and I do it in my house, too. And it's just become so big in my life, thanks to my mom, that my OCD is, like, all over the place. So if nothing looks like it's in, like, organization, or anything doesn't look organized, or everything's a mess, it just, oh my gosh, it kills me. Like, I freak out so much
Really?
that I feel like I'd start screaming. Yes.
Well, as long as you don't take it to the extreme, I guess, a
Yeah.
little bit of organization never hurt anybody.
I take care of it at my job, though. Like, my other hosts probably are like, what's her problem? I'm just like, it's like a pigsty in here. Like, do you want to clean up or something? And they leave it for me to do, and I'm just like, oh my God. But I get it done fast because it kills me.
Well, you are very organized. I mean, even when I've had the opportunity to work with you on your show.
I try to be, because if I'm not, it
Yeah.
kills me.
It's great. I mean, hey, I think it's a plus. So, the question that everyone wants to know, dying to know the answer to, and thanks to my daughter, we're going to ask you
Yay!
this question. Are you playing Pokemon Go, and have you found Pokemon in the studio?
I am not playing Pokemon Go. My friends are, always. But I'm not playing Pokemon Go because I don't feel like it shouldn't be as big as it is, because it's very scary for people. Mm-hmm. Because my friend dealt with someone knocking on her door trying to go in her backyard just to get Pikachu. And that's scary because, like my parents and my sister said, what if a robber comes in and they're like, oh, there's a Pikachu in your backyard or something, and they're like using that as an excuse.
You bring up
to
a
rob
good
you.
point. You bring up a good point.
Or they say, or for instance, like kidnapper or person that's trying to get a little kid to come with them. Hey, there's a Bulbasaur or whatever in my car. Do you want to come catch it?
So you're looking at the flip side of all the fun.
And a lot of people are dying. They fall off cliffs and stuff because they're
Really?
not looking at their surroundings.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful no matter what, I guess. It could be texting and fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Don't you hate when that
But
happens?
it's like, I don't do that. I'm not allowed to text and walk. And then the other thing is my one guy friend actually at Veterans Park, he was throwing water balloons at people that were on their phones because they weren't looking at their surroundings. He got 1,000 water balloons that day.
Wow.
And had fun with it. I feel bad, but I think that's pretty awesome.
All right, so we're going to have some fun asking you a couple more questions here. What is a place that you would love to visit?
A place I'd love to visit, probably, I've never been to the, oh my gosh, Madison Square Garden in New York.
Really?
Never been there, yeah.
Like, so would you want to go there to see a concert? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would love to go see that. I don't really know who's on tour right now because I can't really go to concerts that much unless, like, I can afford it or have a ride. But, yeah, I mean, that's, like, I've seen it in the Never Say Never movie for Justin Bieber, but I've never, like, witnessed it. And it's so big. I would love to go there one day.
I think we'll have to make that happen for you. Speaking of concerts, though, what's the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh, goodness gracious. I felt like this question would have come up. Oh, my God, I've been to so many concerts in my life. Probably would have been Never Shout Never. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but I got to meet them also, and I cried, like always. But they put on the best show in the world. Like, I was up front, and it's really bad. If I get, like, really dehydrated, I pass out immediately. So their last song, I was, like, hyperventilating, and I was up front. So the security guard had to, like, crowd surf me to the top.
Wow.
Just to get out to the emergency room because I almost spent, like, it was at Starland Ballroom. So I almost spent, like, in the ER that night. But besides that, I had a great time at the show because they're so sweet. They're nice. Their music was awesome. They had, one of their songs was a red balloon. So they had a red balloon, like, fly around when they were singing. And they said every time the red balloon would go back to the stage, they'd have to repeat the song over and over again. We did it, like, 3 times. I was like, oh, my God. It was so much fun. When they get crowd interaction, that's where I'm just like, oh, my God, I love this concert. Like, it would be my top favorite.
Are they one of the bands, too, that sound really great? I mean, as great as they do live as they do recording?
Yeah, it's just the one lead singer, Chris, he decides to get drunk before he does the concert because he has the fun moments. Like, he was kicking his friend's butt during the concert.
Okay.
Before they were singing because he was drunk. But, I mean, that's sometimes how people have to get in concert. Like, they have to either be drunk or somewhat, in the mood for them to actually groove. It's not me. I'm not a musician, so. But, yeah.
And are we playing any songs by them tonight?
No, I wish. I love Never Shout Never, though. But we can play Fairy Tales by Sharon Leah.
That sounds good.
Love that song. It's a beautiful song. Now, this one reminds you of your promo. Watch.
I know what I know inside, and I know
Hey, this is Laura Madsen, writer and celebrity publicist of theladyinredblog.com. For the latest takes on entertainment, music, food, fashion, and fun, come check me out at theladyinredblog.com.
Whenever you're ready.
You want to count off or something?
Oh, go ahead, go.
Okay. Hey, this is Slim here from Slim Chance and the Gamblers, and you're listening to Hamilton Radio. Now, another one?
Yep. And you did DJ Dani Show.
Hey, this is Mario from Slim Chance and the Gamblers. Well, give me number 2. Hey, this is Slim from Slim Chance and the Gamblers saying you're listening to Danny on Hamilton Radio. One more time. DJ Danny.
Welcome back to the DJ Dani Show. I'm Manda Madsen, and we have DJ Dani and my mom, Laura Madsen, here with us today, and we're interviewing DJ Dani for a change. And if you want, call DJ Dani and ask her a question. Call 609-800-1003. And I had a quick question for Dani. What are the social medias that you have? Like, where can people find you on social media?
Everyone can find me on like DJ Dani Show. I mean, if you Google my name, I think there's like a few things that pop up. Like I've seen my Facebook pops up. I think Hamilton Radio pops up. My Twitter, my Instagram. For Twitter, it's DJ DANISHOWW. So it's 2 W's. And then Instagram is DJ Dani Show. And then my private Instagram is DJ Dani Though, like THO. So everything's DJ Dani, basically. So DJ Dani Show, DJ Dani Though. Yep, it's me.
That is you. And we've been covering a lot of ground with you tonight, finding out who some of your favorite artists are that you've had on your show. You've only been hosting your show for a little over 2 years now, and you have had, what did you say, over 70 guests?
Yeah, counting this number and previous to like the people that I'm booked up to December, it's probably going to be over 100 now. But yeah, I think it's about like 60 or 70 on this page. Yeah.
So, and musical talent from all genres. And,
yeah, all difference.
And if I'm an artist,
yeah,
and I'm listening to the show right now, and I really want to get onto the DJ Dani Show, how can I email you so you know who I am and I have a shot?
So you can email me at danicbjb65@gmail.com, or you can just message me through DJ Dani Show. I'm always active. I always respond to messages, and it always blows up, but I promise I'm active and I will respond to
DJ Dani Show on Facebook.
Yep.
That's great. So what's been the highlight of your life so far? Not even like necessarily the highlight of the DJ Dani Show, but in your 19 years, what's been one of the highlights of your
Meeting
life?
Charlie Puth at 94.5 Summer Bash.
Well, there you go. That was an easy question. And why?
I think I'm blushing right now.
Why was it? Just because?
Because I took off my glasses and it was blurry because I didn't want to cry, and I ended up crying anyways. And then when I went up to him, I was like shaking, and he was like, "It's okay, calm down." So I hugged him with my friend, and then right before I walked away, I was telling him that I've watched him ever since he did other shows like previous, before he was famous. Like he used to do like "Man in the Wig" or "I'm So Hot," and they were my favorite songs. Like I used to listen to them all the time with my sister. So I told him that, and he was like, "You're a great fan," and he hugged me so tightly, and I was like walking away, and I ran to my mother, and I was like crying. I was like, "Oh my God."
That's to me, to hear that is pretty incredible, because I've seen you around some major artists in the industry, and you don't get all fangirl. You're very professional, and
so hard. My dad's like taming me down. He's like, stay professional, don't freak out, stay professional.
And it all went out the window that day, but that's okay.
Well, I didn't interview him, though. That's a different story. That was me actually getting a chance to meet him, so I kind of have a chance to, like, freak out, I guess.
Yes, definitely allowed to do that. And for some people, this is very important. What's your zodiac sign?
Pisces.
Do you think that represents who you are?
Yes, I'm kind of a daredevil. Like, I like cold water, so I would jump into, like, an ice-cold water pool, like
you do jump right into things. Yeah. You know, as we talked about earlier, you don't have that fear. You don't have that stage fright. You've been on stage.
This is why my dad gets scared sometimes when I get invited to do stuff. He's like, I don't want you to do that, because people try to invite me to like hang out, or sometimes they would involve weed, and I'm not a part of that. Right. So my dad's like, stay away from that. And I'm just like, that's why I don't have friends to hang out with, because everybody does that stuff.
Well, I think you're pretty self-confident and you know what you want out of life, and I think your focus is a lot bigger than some of the things that other people might be interested in.
Yeah, mine's a lot bigger and positive. I try to stay positive all the time. I can't deal with negative people. It just pushes me down, and I feel depressed, and I just hate that feeling.
Well, I think that's why you've been so successful too, because positive people surround themselves usually with positive people, and it just perpetuates and it goes places.
Yeah, and it's crazy how it actually becomes something.
And it did become something, and it is becoming something.
Yes, it is.
So I'm excited to see you take the DJ Dani Show to the next level, and hopefully you'll invite me back when that happens.
Of course I would.
Well, I have a question back to the zodiac sign. What is your birthday?
March 3rd.
So she's a Pisces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Dani, there's one more song I know that you wanted to play. You wanted to close out the show with tonight.
Yep, it's called My Country by Kate Todd. When I first had her on my show, if you guys wanted to know, she's from My Babysitter's a Vampire, which was a Disney Channel show that I used to watch all the time. First, it was a movie. I don't know if one of you guys know of it. My Babysitter's a Vampire. She was Erica. Do you know who Erica is, Amanda?
Blonde,
the blonde one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. And at first I was thinking it was going to be something like The Walking Dead because, it had it had vampires in it, not zombies. And I was telling my sister about it. My sister's like, it's whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I like this show. And I started watching the TV show, and I was like, this is amazing. I found out she was doing country music, and this is her song called My Country.
Well, thank you very much for being my guest tonight, Dani.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Manda, for helping me put her in the hot seat.
Thank you guys so much, especially for putting me in the hot seat. I appreciate that.
And you guys can tune in next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time to the DJ Dani Show, and she's always having someone special on.
I definitely am. We're going to play Kate Todd, My Country.